Hello universe, this is Gypsy. Thank you for dropping by my channel. Today's video is my 1 month check-in on my Pan as Old as Time. This is my palette of the year. It's in collaboration with the Pantastic Ladies of Facebook, and the product I chose was an Avon 1992 palette. I probably had set this aside after loving it back in 92. I had in the thumbnail picture, you'll see that I had pan on 3 of the eyeshadows and a little bit of pan on the darker of the blushes. Those pans have been expanded slightly. The other 5 colors in this palette had not been really touched, and the brighter red blush had not been really touched. I glued in 3 smaller, I depotted and glued in 3 smaller colors that would complement. So I'm going to go over all of that with you again. These are the 3 colors that I glued in where a brush used to lie. They're from different brand products. They could be an Almay, they might be a Maybelline or Revlon. I can't recall what I depotted them from, and it doesn't matter to me as long as they complement what I had going on this side. This is the real project to me. I'd had pan on this one when I started, and hopefully you can see that in the thumbnail. It's expanded very ever so slightly. I'd had hardly any use on the red, but now I do have some dips in it. I'd had minimal use on the turquoise, and I do now have a little bit of dip in the turquoise. Again, the brown had no use. This brown, it was dark, and I feel like I got a really nice dip going in the brown. I've enjoyed wearing the brown the most. I feel like it's the easiest to work with. It's a matte and it blends well. The turquoise is not as easy to work with for me because it's dark. It comes out dark, it stays dark, it hangs, it has good wear all day long. I don't really feel like it's blendable. It does have a frost to it, and I can say similar things about the olive. It's got a little bit of dip in it. It doesn't, I have to build that one. And it works, it seems like it works best just to smoke the corners with. The 3 on the bottom, I've smoked the corners with. I've worn the turquoise over the lid, but it just felt way too dark. The black I've actually got some dip in. It doesn't, it's a buildable black. It doesn't go on terribly dark like a lot of the newer palettes I've got. You have to be careful with them. You can ruin all your work when you go to smoke out the corner because they go on so dark. This one is a buildable dark, and it's a blendable dark, and I've used it a little. What I sometimes do is I will set the brown eyeliner that I've got. I tried to do that today, but I've been walking in and out getting firewood in for the wood burning stove, and my eyes are tearing a lot with the cold. I do that in the winter a lot. So makeup and smoking out the corners, or even getting a good eyeliner to stay underneath, is a challenge. I mean, it does. It'll rub right off. The green is what I've decided to wear today because I wasn't showing it that much love. I cannot see hardly any brush strokes on it. So I wanted to give it a little bit of love today. You can see some good brush strokes on the black. And let me pull it up just a little. You can see I've got some nice dip in the brown. Got a bit of a dip right there in the green. And the olive, I've been using a different type of brush on, and it's just got kind of an all over rub. And you can also see the gold that's mixed into the olive. That's just part of the way that eyeshadows made. I've expanded my pans on these other 3 that had pans when I started the project. The pans are just a little bit wider. So I'm gonna concentrate a little bit more on the green to see if I can have better wear for you. I've got it on today, right over here in the corners. I haven't historically worn green, but I'm teaching myself how to wear green. I've also got this blush on here with a very light touch because it's got a lot of pigmentation to it. And the darker of the blushes, I put just a little bit here, and I used it a little on the to bronze with. That's the word I was looking for. What I've been doing with this color, and I've got good dip in it, and I don't know if you can see the dip. I've been using that to set a cream eyeshadow that I've been using as a eye primer. So I start with the green eyeshadow. It's something that I've been working on panning out. It's an Estee Lauder product, and then I'll use this cream color to set it. This is a very light, frosty eyeshadow, and I'll sometimes use it under the brow if I don't think it'll be too much of a stark contrast. If these are light enough, this green was light enough to just put a little under the brow bone, but I do often blend a lot. This gold color I can sometimes wear with the brown. It doesn't really wear well with any of the other shades. It's just a little too dark for those shades. I have been continuing to play with my palette of the week. I have found numerous complementary shades to go with this to make it more wearable, to add a little bit of diversity to it. To me, these colors probably, if they were in any of those other palettes, they would probably be the colors that you would use to make your smoky corner. They are dark. 2 of them are frosts, 3 of them are mattes. I knew that this would be a slow to pan project, but I will say that I am enjoying it. I have got use out of it, and I'm going to be curious to see, because this is my first full-on panning project, I'll be curious to see at the end of the year how much use I've gotten out of it. I am using this every single day, and I am wearing makeup 7 days a week. And I will continue to play my palette of the week project to get reach and touch on all the other items that I've got. I'm about to have the need to change foundations. My foundation is in the Panning Your Mental Health project, and I am about to run out of that product. I've been trying one of Wayne Goss's recommendations to apply a primer and then a powder and then a foundation, and it seems to be working for me. My skin seems to be responding to it. I feel like I'm getting a little bit better coverage from that product that's in that project. I have already panned out the lip liner in that project. These are all spoiler alerts for next month. And I believe I'm about to pan out a lipstick tube. So I'm considering trying a lippy with a doe foot applicator. It's sort of a liquid lip. I've never panned one before. I've been working on a tube lipstick, and I'm a little concerned about its wearability at work. Sometimes those liquid lips, they want to settle or they want to travel all over your mouth, and I'm too busy at work to have a product misbehave like that. So if you have any advice, if you've tried to pan out a lippy, that's what I've got the most of in my collection. I'm eventually going to have to learn how to use them. I've considered taking a pressed powder and powdering my mouth before applying them. I know that there are hacks where you can apply the pressed powder after you apply lipstick, and it makes your lipstick wear all day long. I've done that before. I know that that works. So I've got some changes that are coming up in February that you're going to see in those other videos, but I'm mentioning it now because this is the palette that I'm using for the entire year, and those changes are going to affect how this performs and how it looks. So next month is going to be a lot of changes going on, and if you want to see the products that I've panned out and what I'm rolling in, because that's a rolling project, is to bring awareness to mental health issues and to be supportive and to advocate for the mentally ill. I'm a 10-year veteran registered nurse of psychiatry. I'm working dialysis now, but I have that experience, and I consider myself an advocate. If you want to see that, that's another video series that I've been working on called Panning My Mental Health. This is my pan as old as time, and I have a Menage a Polish, I have a palette of the week, the empties video, and I do a lookbook so that I can track the different looks that I've tried to come up with while learning to use the products or trying to use up the products. Thank you so much for stopping by. This is the end of the video. Thank you so much for stopping by, and I hope to see you again in a month, and I hope to have a lot more progress with, I need to focus on the green. The green has not been getting a lot of love, so I need to focus on that. And if you think that this is a good look with the green, please drop a comment below. If you have some suggestions of how I might be able to use the green, please feel free to comment. I appreciate your feedback and I appreciate your help. If you haven't subscribed, feel free to. I love making new friends on YouTube, and I will see you guys again in a month. Have a great day.